Hello, my name is Christian Forte, and I'm the news anchor for EIC, Events in Canada. Tonight we welcome special guest, the 15th Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau, to talk about what we hope to be a historical night in Canadian history. Here's a little backstory on our special guest for this evening. Pierre Trudeau was born on October 18, 1919, in Quebec, Canada. He was born into a wealthy family with two other siblings, his dad working as a lawyer and a businessman. He attended college Jean de Brebeuf, a very well-known school, where he graduated and then got a degree in law from the University of Montreal. While at the University of Montreal, he was selected to the Canadian Army as part of the National Resources Mobilization Act. After World War II, he went back to school, earning himself a degree in politics from the University of Harvard. Fast forward a bit, and on April 19, 1967, he was sworn into office. I know it has been a long day, so how are you?
You know what? It has been a pretty eventful day and week leading up to this day, but I'm so happy we were able to complete such a country-changing act.
Alright, so my first question is, why was the Charter of Rights and Freedoms created?
Well, Christian, as a Prime Minister, I have the responsibility to protect and help my people, and that is exactly what this charter will do. It is meant to give all Canadians freedom, from their religious beliefs to freedom of speech. There are some core concepts to this charter that include the right to have a democratic government, the right to work or live anywhere in Canada you would like, freedom to voice your opinions, the right to learn and use both of Canada's official languages, gender equality, and last but not least, Indigenous people's rights. We have to understand, Christian, in giving these essential values to life, we are hoping to guide the people of this great country into working together, because they will be able to see what makes each other special and unique.
You touched a bit on this point, but why was it so important that this charter was passed?
That's a good question, but for me, it just comes down to creating a just society where everybody is given an equal chance. As well, this charter will protect pre-existing laws, the innocence of the people, and it declares fundamental freedoms which will lead to us having a strong and great country. But you know what, Christian? Canada will be a strong country when Canadians of all provinces feel at home in all parts of the country, and when they feel that all Canada belongs to them.
What is Section 33 of the Charter? Because it seems like a bit of an outlier compared to the rest of the material in this charter.
Section 33, also known as the Notwithstanding Clause, was a deeply debated part of this charter. It came down to having to protect politicians, and it basically allows them to overrule the unelected judges. Why I push back against this is because I believe it takes away the individual's rights against the government. But there were many other provinces that believed the Notwithstanding Clause was essential, like Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, because they believed the charter would take away the government's power to make necessary changes.
Who does the charter apply to? And why does it apply to those certain individuals?
First of all, this applies to everyone, but we believe that it will help the Canadian people who are in the minority, whether that is culturally, racially, or because of language barriers. It is meant to help people that don't have large groups of people to speak up for them. For me, the most important part here is uniting the country. That includes French and English Canadians, new immigrants from around the world, as well as refugees seeking our great country's help. The Charter will protect the individual's rights, and it is meant to give all Canadian people a chance to live their lives the way they would like to.
Looking back on the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, how are your thoughts on how it turned out?
In hindsight, there will always be things that if you had the chance, you would go back and do over. But I believe this charter was pretty successful. I view this charter as a turning point in Canadian history, where we changed from a legislative law-based society to constitutionally based rights in Canada. I saw the charter as an expression of my long-held view that the subject of law must be the individual human being. The law must permit the individual to fulfill himself or herself to the utmost. One of the more popular complaints about the Act is Section 33, which at the time I wasn't fully sold on. As of May 2017, the Notwithstanding Act has been used 17 times in multiple different provinces. Last of all, we know Canada as a very inclusive country today that allows many into the country yearly. But in my opinion, this started in 1982 with the Freedoms of Rights Charter because it was meant to help out the unfavored and less fortunate, like many fleeing from wars and poverty.
Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day, Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau.